Hey guys, merriest of Thursdays to you. It is March 23, 2011. Today I'm going to go over a short tip for how to do selective sharpening in Photoshop. I use this process all the time when I want to add just a hint of more clarity or sharpness to certain parts of my image. So first thing we're going to do is open up our image, and I'm just going to pull it from, I use Adobe's Lightroom, which I find to be awesome. I will sometimes post some tips for you Lightroom users out there, but you could be pulling it from Adobe Camera Raw or iPhoto or wherever you do your image editing or image organization. Could be from your Finder window. So I'm going to just pick a random photo here of this beautiful woman who just so happens to be my lovely sister. I'm going to bring this into Photoshop and close this down here. And alright, so first thing we're going to do is over here in our layers palette, we are going to make a copy of our original layer. And why do we do this? Why is Photoshop so great? Or any of Adobe's Creative Suite for that matter. It allows us to edit non-destructively. So I'm going to hit Apple J or Command J or Control J for you PC users out there. And I'm going to just name this work. And next I'm going to go up to my, let's see, it should be my layers option up here, and go to Smart Objects, Convert to Smart Object. And why do I do this? Without going into all the details of what a smart object does, or actually what a layer style does for that matter, I'll just say that a smart object allows us to edit our image non-destructively, meaning that we can make adjustments to our image, and it's not going to make it to the original content. It's going to make edits directly onto our edits. So all you need to know is it doesn't hurt your original data or your original image. So once I convert it to a smart object, I'm going to go up to Filter, Sharpen, Unsharp Mask. And you'll see in Unsharp Mask that you have this dialog box here that gives you a preview of what you're changing, and it also updates automatically in your actual image here, but it does take a little bit longer to render. So I'm gonna pull this up, and you can kind of play around with it. You can see that it'll start to make drastic changes if you pull the radius up and the amount up, and that's not really what I'm going for, but I am definitely going for realism, and I'm just trying to add some punch to my image. So I'm going to come in here and I'll say, yeah, sure, this will work for me. So I'll hit OK, and right now you're thinking, okay, not really my style, I'm not really liking it, and I agree with you. This is a little over the top for me. What I want to do is just bring out the detail in her hair and her glasses and some of the edges on her coat here. So I'm going to click on my Smart Object Layer Mask here in my Layers palette, and I'm going to hit make sure my foreground and background colors over here are set to their original, which it doesn't really matter, but if you press the X key, it will restore them back to their original black foreground, white background. I'm going to hit Option Delete, and that's going to change that layer mask to black. And if you notice here in the image, it automatically, well, it's as if there's no changes at all. And really what's happening here is the sharpen edit that we just made up here is being hidden by the black. And what I'm going to do is paint some of that back in. It's like anything. If you're a painter and you have a canvas in front of you you choose what elements to paint and what not. Pretty simple concept, but I'm going to make sure I'm going to switch my foreground and background colors again. So I'm going to be painting with white. I'm going to get my brush tool by, well, either pressing on the brush tool here in the tools palette, or just hitting the letter B, which gives me the brush tool. If I use the bracket keys, it will change my brush size for me. And I'm just going to start, and I'll zoom in so you can see the change here. I'm just going to start painting in parts of, so you can, it will reveal some of the detail and the sharpness a little bit more. And why don't I want it on the entire image? Well, skin, especially with females, generally isn't as appealing if it's you know, that more rugged, sharp sharp look. So I just want to bring in certain parts. So I'm going to come in here and I'll paint in some of the hair. And I hope you guys can see the change this is making here. You know, you can kind of just paint in wherever you want to see some detail. It doesn't have to be, that's this particular style, you know. And you know what, I'm not a huge fan of that. I brought in a little too much there, so if I press the X key, it'll let me paint with black, and that will take away the changes that I just made. You can see there. That's just a little too much. So come back here. So I'll zoom out, and then this works really well for edges. So if I come in, I'm going to just do some little things here like these buttons. And, you know, you could do it to the whole, you know, I'll do it to the edges of the coat here. And really I could do this to the whole coat and it would be fine. And you know, just so you can see. That looks alright. Totally your preference. Really, the only thing I don't want to add clarity to is, I'm going to do that, not really sure why I did that, is the skin. I want to leave the skin, I want to have a softer skin look. So bring in a little bit more here so you get the idea. So I have it where I want it, and I'm going to call that good. Totally up to you, but yeah, hope you enjoyed. Quick little tip on selective sharpening in Photoshop.